The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you. Or one day the same shall never cease to happen in Africa. They say diplomacy is the art of telling someone to go to hell in such a way that they look forward to the trip. But in Ghana, diplomacy has become a game of mirrors. For a year, we were told there was no deal. We were told there was no military alignment. We were told Ghana's had bid for the Sahel. But as of February 26, 2026, those mirrors have shattered. Foreign Minister Samuel Okudzoto-Ablakwa is not just visiting Kiev. He is standing in the ruins of our non-aligned foreign policy, while our neighbors in the AES, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are purging foreign military presence to reclaim African dignity. Ghana has done the unthinkable. We have signed a defense pact with a nation thousands of miles away, effectively importing a European proxy war into the Gulf of Guinea. How did we get here? To find the truth, we have to go back to the tweet that started it all, the tweet the government tried to bury. Let us take a trip back to July 11th, 2025. On that day, President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine took to his social media X account. His words were precise. He had spoken to the Ghanaian leadership and shockingly announced that Ghana was ready to finance the production of Ukrainian drones. Imagine the sense at the Jubilee House that morning. Panic, phone calls. The government came out swinging. They denied it. They said the president's words were misinterpreted. They insisted that Ghana, facing an economic crisis and IMF scrutiny, would never spend a peso on foreign weapons. Compare the 2025 denial to the February 26th reality. Why did they lie? Was it the IMF or was it the fear of the Ghanaian youth who are increasingly sympathetic to the anti-imperialist stance of the AES? Fast forward to this week. Minister Ablakwa is in Kiev. He claims the mission is humanitarian to save the 272 Ghanaian citizens identified by Ukraine as fighting for Russia. But behind the humanitarian smoke screen lies the fire, a large-scale defense cooperation agreement. Why now? Just days ago, Burkina Faso under Captain Ibrahim Traore are all in all solidify its own security architecture. The AES is building a wall against Western interference by signing a military pact with Ukraine, a primary recipient of NATO weapons. Ghana has effectively built a Trojan horse for foreign interests in West Africa. Is Ukraine providing drones to Ghana to monitor the northern border? Or is Ghana being used as a training ground for a backdoor for weapons that the West can no longer legally send directly? This isn't defense. It is a provocation. It tells Mali and Burkina Faso, your neighbor is now a partner of your enemy's ally.
Not once with your president. Best regards to him and from my team. You're very welcome. Thanks for yesterday's support and happy to see you.
Thank you very much for hosting us today. You have been very gracious since we arrived here in the beautiful city of Kiev.
I want to also confirm that we have just concluded very fruitful bilateral discussions. Our discussions have been broad and varying. We have discussed the need to have an agricultural cooperation. Ghana is positioning itself to be an agrarian hub, and we want to be the food basket of our region. And we have discussed the potential in having full cooperation with Ukraine in that regard. We have also discussed matters on education. Before the invasion, we had a lot of Ghanaian students here, excess of 200, who were particularly studying in the field of medical science and engineering. Because of the invasion, a lot of them returned home and had to be reintegrated. We want to revive that educational cooperation so that we can continue to have more of our medical doctors and engineers trained here. And then we can also receive a lot of Ukrainians who want to have a different exposure, different environment. We have also strong universities some of the best in Africa, like the University of Ghana, which was established in 1948. So we have discussed the need to revive our educational cooperation. We have also looked at the potential of having a defense cooperation agreement. As two countries, we have very strong armed forces. As you do know, Ghana's celebrated armed forces is one of the UN top troop contributing nations. They have tremendous experience in maintaining peace, maintaining law and order, and carrying out peacekeeping operations across the world. And we believe that we can cooperate in that area. We are also looking at establishing an electronic warfare center so that we can deal with the threat of terrorism that we face in our region, which is now the epicenter for global terror. So we are looking for international partners to build our capacity and our ability to neutralize these terrorists. And we see in Ukraine a worthy partner. And so we have discussed that.
On February 25th, 2026, one of Africa's most consistent voices, Kwesi Pratt Jr., dropped a bombshell. He didn't just question the deal, he indicated the narrative. Ukraine claims Russia is dragging Africans to their death, but Pratt asks, who allowed the trafficking network to operate in Accra? If 272 Ghanaians are on the front lines, it wasn't an accident. It was a failure of national security. Why is Ghana supporting Ukraine's territorial integrity while they are silent on the Western-backed destabilization of the Sahel? Pratt warning. This deal is not about cooperation for life, as the Ukrainian foreign minister claims. It is about buying a seat at the table of the new Cold War. Let's talk about the money. In late 2025, the US cut MCC funding for Ghana, citing debt and values. Yet, sadly, we have the diplomatic energy and resources to sign defense pact in Eastern Europe. The contrast is staggering. Our hospitals lack beds. Our youth are agitating for jobs. Yet, we are financing drone production or jointly developing agro hubs for a nation at war. This is the neocolonial trap. The West uses Ukraine as a clean face to sell military influence to Africa. Ghana has swallowed the bit whole. As Minister Abulakwa shakes hands with Zelensky, the black star on our flag seems dim. We have traded the legacy of Nkrumah for a defense pact that serves no African. We have chosen to be a partner for a foreign war while being a problem for our own neighbors. The AES is watching. The youth are watching. Ray Green, Mr. Nelson, and all our supporters here, we are watching. We see the agitation in the streets. We see the hands raised, but not for podcast microphones, but for the truth. Ghana was the first to gain independence. Let us not be the first to sell it back in pieces. The Kiev deal is a shocking betrayal. Zelensky, Ukraine that cannot fund itself. Zelensky has this military energy, yet it can defend itself. It must use Africa to defend itself. Zelensky can defend Ukraine, but Zelensky has the energy to give us the drone production, the technology, because these were the things that our leaders spoke about. They need Ukraine technology for what? If you're looking for people to give us technology, go to Iran. Iran was sanctioned for 40 good years. And Iran survived, built, and now is one of the superpowers. Africa is in the same shoes with Iran. So why not move with the people who survive sanctions if we are talking about the African solution to the African problem? And we are talking about moving away from oppression. Why not move with Iran? That will teach us how to survive when finally these sanctions come. And it must be Ukraine. Ukraine that is there, chasing after the Sahelian nations, trying to counter Russia's influence in Africa, is that nation that Ghana is signing a military defense pact To come and defend you from who? Zelensky hasn't been able to defend itself. But Zelensky can come and defend you in Ghana. Zelensky is moving here and there asking for fighter jets, drones, aid, help to fight its war. Yet Zelensky has all it takes to give to Africa. Look at the way they are framing things up. That Russia is taking Africans to go and fight for Russia, so that the love that the African youth is having for Russia will reduce. But you can deceive other people. But some of us who are awoken, you can never use this narrative. How did they end up in Ukraine army if they were sent to fight for Russia? We have a lot of questions to ask you. How did you manage to get the 272 Ghanaians that you claim you rescued? Because they were sending them to fight for Russia. Russia don't need Africans to fight for it. Because even at the time of Hitler, Russia defeated the world. Nobody helped Russia. Russia isn't a nation that needs Africans. If we are talking about people who are using Africans to fight their wars, we look at the Second World War. Millions of Africans lost their lives. In France, in Britain, people always use Africans to fight their wars, not Russia. Russia don't need Africans before it can defeat Ukraine. Even the United States of America, the whole West, openly made it clear, even in European Parliament. One time, they told you that Putin isn't a politician and Putin knows this game better than you. Even NATO said it, that you cannot defeat Russia. In history, there hasn't been any nation that defeated Russia. So why will Russia now turn to Africa before it can win a war against Zelensky? This is Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall. And united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in Ghana.